Hi everyone, it's Dee from Dee's Divine Guidance here for a fun session. I'm very excited. We're going to learn a little bit about understanding the spirit world and understanding how you too can connect with your higher source and with divine, with your higher self and divine source and other spirits that have crossed over, and to trust your intuition a little bit more and what that really means. And to just understand that a little bit more. So I'm actually going to bring you through a meditation in a little bit after I explain to you a little bit. So if you have questions, if you're here, say hi. Hi guys, hi. Hi Karen. Karen, you asked that question about the headaches. I feel like your brain is trying to like escape, like it's trying to push out. Like I feel like your thoughts are so hindered down that they're like, during meditation, it's like overwhelmingly like trying to come out. So that's kind of what I got when you asked that question. Hi Linda. Hi Lane. Oh yay. Tanisha, hello. If you're here, say hi. Let me know that you're here. You girls are on time. Love it. All right, so let me do one more thing. I'm just kind of getting ready, letting everybody come on and join us for this session. So, there's a lot to go over with this, so I'm not going to be able to go over everything, but I'm going to talk about the first few steps that you need to know in order to connect yourself. Hi, Marcia. You're watching from the dentist office. Awesome, because that is very nerve-wracking. I hate going to the dentist. But, that's a fear. And again, it's like a fear that I have to overcome. And I just tell myself, what's a little bit of pain for, something that is going to cause me like being proactive. Oh, good, Karen. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what I feel. So we'll get through that today. Neva, hello. Good morning, Dee. Missed the live last night, but did the replay and it was wonderful. Right before the music ended, I felt I was going to go out of my body. Awesome. Thank you. Mwah. I am glad that you enjoyed it. Good. Hi, Amanda. I have to tell you, I wasn't sure I'd make it today, and when you were signing off last night, it was... I know, Amanda, I looked, and it was 11:11, and I was like, there you go. So that's a sign, and you made it today. That's awesome. All right, so let's get started with this. All right, so comment me any questions that you have so I can try to touch upon them. But what I want to start with is that, I mentioned last night in one of the videos about how like I didn't care what people thought anymore, and that's basically doing this, coming guys, just so you know, I'm a CPA, so I do accounting and taxes and all this stuff. But like so coming from that to going to this, like people are kind of mind blown. So they don't get it, they don't understand it, and at first I didn't get it. I thought I was crazy. I didn't trust myself. I had MRIs done. Like, I thought it was crazy. So what I want to tell you is that there's two things to start this process with anybody. And basically it is to get your shit out of the way, okay? All that stuff that you're holding on to, that is not, it's going to hinder this process, because the stuff that you're holding on to tells the universe that you're not trusting them yet. Because you're not trusting them that the lessons that you had to learn are for your benefit. And you're holding on to what was done to you rather than seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay? Oh, Neva, yeah, it is my busy time. So the time off I get, I'm spending it with you guys, but I couldn't be happier doing that. So in order to start to really see things, hear things, be aware of things, you really need to get rid of all of that stuff that you're holding on to, all right? You need to be clean, and the cleaner that you are, the easier it is to connect, and I'll tell you why. The first thing that happens when you're trying to connect to spirit, you're trying to connect to angels, whoever you're trying to connect to, if you believe in God, like whoever that is for you, when you're trying to connect, you have this left brain that is getting in the way, right? So let's go back to not even talking about a higher source right now, okay? Oh, Marcia, yeah, you're an accountant too? Awesome. Hi, Lee. All right, so let's go back. I mentioned something last night about like say if you look in the mirror, right? And I look in the mirror and it's morning time and I'm tired and maybe I have bags under my eyes, but I look at the mirror and I say, wow, you know, I look pretty good today. But then all of a sudden those negative thoughts come in and like, oh, you got bags under your eyes, you know, your skin's it's a little whatever. All those negative thoughts start coming in. So the first thought was, hey, I look pretty today, right? And then the negative thoughts come in. That's your left brain. The right brain was your first thought. Then the left brain comes in and starts giving you all this negativity, okay? That is what needs to stop. So the cleaner that you are and the more self-love that you have and the more you can understand where other people are hurting and that they went through stuff themselves and why they act that way, and you don't take it personally and just know that that's their stuff that they're dealing with and don't let it affect you. So the cleaner that you are, and by clean I mean the more emotionally stable, more self-love that you have for yourself, self-worth that you have for yourself, it's going to be easier to connect because that left brain is no longer there, okay? Saying all the negative things, because what will happen is you'll get a thought and then you'll be like, is that my imagination? No, that can't be right. Like, no, I'm just making that up, blah, blah, blah. And all the negativity comes in. So the one thing that you need to know is that first thought is it, all right? So once that negativity comes in, you're done. That first thought you have to trust and you just have to go with. So that's your intuition, right? So if you're somewhere and you had a bad feeling, okay, that's your intuition. And then your left brain comes in and says, you know, no, I'm just making that up. You know, maybe it's something I saw on the news, maybe it's scaring me, blah, blah, blah. That's your left brain that comes in. And that's the problem, okay? All right, so the other thing that I feel people have problems with this, yes, Marsha, Reiki will help self-esteem. So yes, that's your solar plexus chakra. So today we're working, I'll show this to you in a minute, but like we're working on the crown chakra and the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra will also help with your perspective of situations, okay? So your answer is yes to that. After last night, I was waking myself up constantly because I was sleep talking like crazy. Good. Lane, you know, guys, when you dream and sometimes when you go to bed, you're actually not sleeping and you're kind of in the space in between. Let me tell you a little story of how this started out for me, right? So I've had this all my life and I kind of turned it off because sometimes I got scared of it with certain dreams that came through. But like, it was all in my dreams when I was younger, okay? And I would have visitations. Like I knew the morning that my grandfather was going to die, he was going to die because I saw a muddy river of dead people floating. Scary, but I woke up to a phone call telling me he was going to the hospital. I was in a new job. I would never have like left a new job the first week. But with that dream, I knew that I needed to be there. Okay, so that was one of the first things. Actually, it wasn't the first thing. That was one of the more recent things that happened. But when I was a child, like I would dream about things and then they would happen. Okay. And I would also get visitations from people in your dreams. So a visitation versus a dream is, for me, personally for me, is when somebody comes to visit me in my dreams, I wake up sobbing. I wake up because I feel like I'm there. I feel emotionally connected to that person. I know that they are deceased in my dream. And like usually I will hug them. When they come to me in my dreams, they don't speak with me. But the last dream that I had was my grandfather coming, and he brought me to this table of all these people, and this is when I was starting to really connect. And I got really scared, and in my dream, I ran in a corner and just started crying. And when I woke up, I was just crying because I knew that it was my grandfather bringing me to the people that he is with up in, where they are. So, let me just see. So, okay, so yes, that's probably why, Linda. All right, so that started in my dreams, and then as I went through stuff, okay, with, like I said last night, like, I'm getting divorced and stuff, and as I went through all of this, it was just spiritual healing, and I started to talk to my spirit guides, right? So we all have spirit guides that are here to help us, and that's how I started to connect. I just started to talk to them and ask them for help, because they cannot help us unless we ask. So I started to ask them for help, and I started to see things like shifting, and it's 10:10 right now. I just want to point that out. Just looked at the clock, and it's 10:10. So we are in the right place at the right time, guys. So I started speaking to the spirit guides, and then I just started to meditate. So it's all about meditating and mind focus. So I made some notes here, so let me just jump back. But that's my story, and I kind of just progressed from there. I took a mediumship class, which then really taught me how to get my left brain out of the way, okay? So the first thing is, in order to connect, and really, you have to get rid of your shit. So you have to heal, okay? That's so funny, Amanda. Where are you? That's funny. It's 11:11 where you are, and it's 10:10 here. That's a little crazy. All right. So get rid of your shit. The awakening. All right. Be in the now. All right. I talked about this last night. It's like if you asked a squirrel what time it is, they have no idea what you're talking about because they're right now. They're only focused on this minute. So stop worrying about the past. Stop thinking about the future and just worry about now, because if your mind is so cluttered with worrying about what's going to happen or what did happen, you're missing the now, and the now is where spirit is, okay? So if you are too worried about that other stuff, you're never going to be able to connect, all right? You have to turn your brain off, and that's why I was saying right before you go to bed and right when you wake up is the two main crucial times that your left brain is out, and yet you're not sleeping yet, okay? And that's like, so if you go to bed and like all of a sudden, like there's some times when I'm just laying in bed, I close my eyes, and then like an hour later I wake up, but I don't feel like I was sleeping. And I was like, I'm like wide awake. It's not like that's the space in between. And sometimes in the very beginning, I actually knew what was happening during that space, and now I have no idea. So it's healing though. So like just know that in your dreams and that space in between, you're actually healing yourself, okay? You don't have to worry about remembering it all, because the most healing that I've ever done was in sound therapy, where they play like crystal bowls and stuff and work on your chakras. And the intention going into it and then waking up and not remembering everything, I was kind of upset that I didn't remember anything that happened during that session. However, when I woke up, I felt like everything was gone. Okay, so don't worry if you don't remember stuff. Just know that it is working for you. All right, let me see. Okay, I've had precognitive visitation dreams. Yeah, I love those dreams. Although I wake up crying my eyes out, I love it. See, when I was younger, I was afraid I was making things happen. Linda, okay. And I had a look before you mentioned it. Nova Scotia. Nice. Okay. So get rid of your stuff, turn your brain off. Now, if you watch any other videos or talk to anybody else, they always say meditation, meditation, meditation. I was never one to meditate because my brain was always active, always thinking of the next thing, always thinking about the past, always thinking about the future. I could never meditate, and I would try and I would try and I'd get frustrated. So we have to focus on mind focus and meditation. First the mind focus and then the meditation. I'm going to bring you through meditation today before we do our Reiki, so that you can just kind of see how it works and maybe open you up a little bit more before we go into the Reiki session to open us up. I think that would be beneficial for us. So the mind focus. So I'm going to do a little exercise with you for right now. All right. So if you're up for this. So again, we're talking about being in the now, okay? And with the meditation, I'm like, oh, I can't, because these thoughts just keep coming. Meditation and mind focus isn't about not having the thoughts, okay? It is about letting the thoughts come and letting them go, all right? So don't think that you can't meditate just because you have all these random thoughts coming in. Those thoughts are okay, but you have to let them go. You have to recognize them and let them go. And, I have here written about like awakening and enlightenment. And to me, all of that is about awareness. All right. So prior to being able to connect, I had to go through an awakening process. So where I was aware of the feelings that I felt, yet I didn't feel them more than a few minutes. Like I used to be the type of person that would hold on to anger and sadness for weeks, months. And now I am the point where, okay, I feel it, I recognize it, and then I let it go because I know where those feelings are coming from. This is what I talked about in those videos last night, is about, you know, knowing the lessons that you had to learn, okay? Knowing where your habits and your feelings and your emotions come from, all right? I know I'm sad because it makes me, not because of what they did, but because it makes me feel this way. Why do I feel that way? Is it true? Is it not true? Well, no, it's not true. Okay, well then let me let that feeling go, okay? It's all together, guys. So like all this healing that we're trying to do will then allow you to be cleaner and allow you to connect, all right? So we have to work on mind focus because it's getting that left brain out of the way, all right? The more you can just focus on now instead of letting all these thoughts of the past, of the future, what you're wearing, what you're doing next come in, you will be able to see the information or hear the information. We'll talk about that too. The information come, and you'll be able to trust it more because you'll have self-love and you'll trust yourself. Okay. So let's just do something for 1 minute. I'm going to ask you to picture a red lotus flower. Okay. So lotus flower is a flower that sits on like the water. It like actually lives in the water, and it like opens up the petals, right? So there might be, I don't know if I have a picture of one, but so just think of a flower. If you don't know what a lotus flower is, just think of any flower, okay? And imagine the petals opening, and I want you to just imagine a red flower, okay? I want you to close your eyes, and for 60 seconds, I'm going to ask you to just picture this red flower. Anytime a thought comes into your head, I want you to recognize it and let it go and get back to the red flower. All right? So, yeah. Okay, so when I say go, let's picture this red flower. And for 60 seconds, I want you to tell me how many times these thoughts, or not even like an exact number, but just be aware of how many thoughts come into your head within the next 60 seconds. All right, okay? All right, so picture the red flower. Take a deep breath. Let it out. And let's see how many thoughts come in our head. Okay, take a deep breath in and let it out. And leave me some comments. How hard was that for people? Tell me. Could you focus on that red flower for 60 seconds, or did you have thoughts coming in and out, in and out, in and out? Okay, so that exercise right there is the mind focus. The longer you can stay focused on that red flower, you are letting your left brain go. Okay, you're not letting it get into your head. Okay, so to me, in our brains, we have like two. And the right one is the right one. And the left one is based on all the experiences that you had growing up until this point. And every time something happens and that right brain wants to talk, this left brain overpowers it. Okay? Good. I'm glad. If you guys can focus on that red flower, you're getting in a really good spot. So how many of you meditate? Can you leave me a comment? Let me know how many of you meditate, because we're going to do a simple meditation that I do before every reading or session that I do, and it is all about lotus flowers. So if you okay, so that's not bad. 3 thoughts. So many thoughts that I couldn't even see the red flower. See, gal? Okay, so that's that. Exactly. So focus, practice that, okay? 60 seconds, red flower. If you can do it, try a blue flower and keep going through different colors. And then you could think of hearing things, right? So like maybe it's church bells. So let me focus on the sound of church bells, okay? And all of this will help you get that left brain out of your head, okay? 4 thoughts, but you could focus on the flower. Good, good, good. I keep telling myself to focus on the flower in the water. Yes. That's what you have to do. Nope, get back to that. Nope, I have to get back to this. Nope, I have to get back to this. I'll let that go. I'll think about that later. I have to get back to this. Okay, oh, I gotta walk the dog. No, I'll do that later. Let me get back to my flower. Let me get back to my flower. And that's what you're going to have to do, guys. It is not a quick thing. If you're not there, it's not going to be like, okay, today I'm just going to focus on that flower for 60 seconds. It's going to be progression, all right? So just keep trying. The more you practice, the better you get, okay? At night to reprogram subconscious mind. Yes, but sometimes my head gets in the way. Yes, I meditate. Me. I heard music from the Jungle Book because one of the songs is about man's red flower, which is fire. Ooh. I try to meditate often, but lately I haven't been into it. Yeah. You have to make time for yourself to meditate. So the reason that I say meditation is very important for connecting is because that is when you're quieting your brain, okay? And you're literally sitting there focusing on nothing. I can't do guided meditations. That's when like most of the thoughts come. I have to do something like where we're focusing on the red flower, where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to focus on this, or I'm just going to sit here and just focus on my breath. So a lot of the times you could just focus on your breathing. In, out, in, out. If I'm focusing on that, I'm not focusing on anything else, okay? So that is one of the main things that you have to learn in order to connect, all right? Because you're not going to be able to see the things that are coming in or hear or feel the information that's coming in if you're too busy in your head with everything else, okay? I've tried listening to meditation on YouTube throughout, but my mind is... Exactly, Amanda. I had the same exact problem, and I was like, I can't meditate. This is never going to happen. I just can't do it. And then somebody, I heard something about the breath, and I'm like, okay, let me just focus on my breath. Let me focus on my breath. And now when I try to meditate for myself, which honestly, I don't really do that much anymore because I'm meditating in order to do this stuff, which I have to get back to. I really just sit there and what I do is I put my eyes together to see my third eye chakra, like right here, and I just focus there. There's nothing there, but I just focus there on whatever's there. Like right now it's just black, and I just focus there, and I just stare at it, and I think of nothing, and I just do that, and that's when I meditate. Because the more you can silence your brain and just come to the now, the more you're going to be able to connect. So that is one of the main things I want you guys to be aware of. The other thing I want is, a lot of people think, oh, all right, why am I not seeing things? Why am I not hearing things? Why is it not? The more you want it, the less it's going to come. I went through this phase as well. I'm like, I just want it more. I want it more. I want it more. I want it more. I was getting it a lot in the morning when I woke up. I would see faces. I would see things. And then it like stopped for me, because I started to crave it more and I wanted it and I didn't know why. And I was all up in my head again about wanting it more, wanting it more. So it is another thing that you kind of just need to surrender to. And you need to know that when the timing is right, it will come. And when you're ready, it will come. All right. So you cannot force it. I went through this, guys. I'm telling you right now. Staring at a candle flame is wonderful. Yes, it's good. Actually, you know what? It's really funny. Like once you do this, like you have no idea what you can do, because my friend asked me to read candle wax, and I was like, candle wax? Like, all right, I'll try. And it was just so funny that once you look at something, you start to see it differently. And then and you mentioned candle flames, and somebody had 2 candle flames dancing, and they're like, can anybody read this? And I'm like, I'll give it a try. And what I said was like right on point for them. And it's just funny when once you surrender to all of it, it's amazing what you can do and what you can see and how you can help people. Okay. That's the other thing that just came to me is, you can't have ill intentions with this. You need to be here for love and light and in order to help other people. So if you want this, you need to get your ego out of the way. It isn't about proving yourself. It isn't proving that you can do this. It is about bringing the messages that people need to hear and healing, okay? So the ill intention is not going to let you do it, okay? Like my second chakra, is my heart chakra closed? Your second, Lee, your second chakra is going to be your sacral chakra. The first chakra is your root, and then your second is your sacral. So the heart is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The heart is your fourth chakra. Lately, I've been going out during meditation. I think I'm sleeping and I can't remember. It may be only 2 to 5 minutes. Both bothered me, but I guess yeah, it's good. Linda, you're probably doing self-healing within that time. That going out you're not sleeping. You're in that space in between, and whatever's happening in between there, that's healing for you. Like your brain subconsciously is working things out. Okay? All right. All right, so that's the other thing. Okay, seeing things, hearing things. Let's get back to spirits, okay? People that have passed on, all right? So people would think, people don't believe in this stuff. The way that I explain it, it makes sense to me, and, I think science is getting around to explaining this to people, and I was watching something about it actually has been proven now that somebody was on their deathbed, they left, and then they came back. So where was I going with this? Energies. Guys, we're all energy. Everything is made up of energy, right? So right now, our energy is in a human body, okay? But when we pass, our human body leaves and our energy goes to a different dimension. So when we're connecting, we're not connecting to the person that passed away. Like, we're not connecting to their body. We're not seeing their physical body in front of us. We're seeing their energy. And the way that their energy, see, Karen, yeah, they leave and they come back. Like, it's all energy, guys. So, like, the body is just a physical form, and that's what we take place in. But it's just energy. So when we connect to spirits, we are seeing an energy, all right? And we're seeing what they want us to see. So I think of it as like this big blob, okay? This big, like, blob of white light. And it's all around us at all times. And that's why, like, do I believe in heaven anymore? Like, I really don't believe in heaven because I feel like these energies are with us everywhere. So if I believe in heaven, it's everywhere, okay? And that's where they go. Is this, like, heaven to me is like a dimension. And I grew up Catholic, so you can criticize me all you want, but this is where I've gotten to, okay? So, so these energies are just everywhere. And when they are connecting to us, they are just shooting images inside of our heads, or they're making us hear things. So that's how I make sense of it, is like you're just connecting to energy, and that energy has been through past lives, but they're going to connect to you in a way that they know how. So if I'm reading somebody and somebody that's passed is trying to connect to me, they're going to show me things that make sense to me, that will then make me say things that will make sense to the person sitting in front of me, okay? So I had a reading with somebody, and I'm like, okay, your grandfather is showing me a coin collection. I'm just going to say what I see. It's a coin collection. Now, guys, I think I'm crazy. Like, he's showing me a coin collection. Like, it's like back in the days, like, I didn't think he collected coins, but I'm like, this is what he's showing me. And then she says to me, his last name was Coin. Okay, so that's the thing. And it's also like a game of charades when you're connecting to spirits that have passed. They are sitting there giving you, showing you, or letting you hear or feel things, and you need to interpret them. So these people sometimes will criticize, mediums because, no, that's not exactly right. Well, yeah, it's not exactly right because I'm trying to understand what they're trying to tell me to relay the message to you. Okay, so that's also how it works. So there's clairvoyance, which is seeing them. Now, when you see them, some people can say that they see them right there. They see them in the doorway. I don't see it like that. I see it in my head. So close your eyes for a second, and I want you to picture a boat. Picture a boat. Do you see it? Okay. That's how they bring messages into my head. So picturing that boat is what I see. Now I have to tell somebody I see a boat. What about the boat? So the more involved you get and progress into this, you start to see the details of that boat. And then you can explain that more, okay? Let's see, that's what happened too. If our loved ones are supposed to be in heaven, then how can they still be with us here on earth? That's a religion question. I'm not going to go there. Like I said, they're physically not here with us on earth. It's a religion question. I really don't want to go into this. It's what your beliefs are. So, to me, if it's heaven, heaven is all around us. okay? Because it's just another dimension. Okay, I've been told my grandmother is around me and wanting to connect and tap into her. I haven't figured out how to do that with her. I don't know what are her signs. Okay. So it is harder. Like for me, I can connect to my grandmother when I'm reading somebody else, but it's harder for me to connect to my grandmother for me, if that makes sense. I haven't really tried so much, so I need to take that time to try to do that. But it's easier for me to connect to my loved ones when I'm trying to read one of my family members, okay? Signs. Karen, whatever you see and you say, is that a sign? It's a sign, okay? My grandfather used to send me feathers that used to be, used to send me threads that were attached to like clothes. Every time I would pick up a clothes, there'd be like a thread on it. And I knew that that was him. They leave me pennies, birds outside. When I see a red robin, I know that everything's going to be okay. So angel numbers, like whatever, just whatever you think the signs are, the signs are. All right, so let's go back. So that's seeing, so picturing that boat. That's the type of messages that they send to me. Hearing. Close your eyes for a second. Row, row, row your boat. What just happened? How many of you went in your head gently down the stream? Okay? That hearing is how they send messages. So this, going back to the mind focus and turning off the left brain, like if you're too cluttered up there, you're not going to hear these subtle messages that are coming through. All right? And like I said, some other people can like see them. I don't see them physically with my eyes. I see them in my head. I also feel, like when I do Reiki, I feel an energy, okay? So I'll feel it either to my left or to my right. To my left is the father's side, to my right is the mother's side. So clairvoyance is seeing, clairaudience is hearing, claircognizance is knowing, right? So this would be, all of a sudden you just know that that person has a sister, okay? That's claircognizance. That's just a knowing. And then there's clairsentience, which is a feeling, which like last night when I felt like I was going to throw up after Reiki, that's like a feeling, like somebody's giving me that feeling. Or like that's more of your intuition where you're feeling like, okay, something's wrong. That's the anxiety in your body. That's your intuition, your higher self. That's really your higher self giving you that information. Like something's not right. Your body's not feeling this situation, this person, whatever it is. Okay? All right, so is there any questions before we go into this meditation? I mean, there's a lot more, guys, but I feel like these are the basics that you need to start with in order to really increase your spirituality and your connecting to your intuition, connecting to your higher source, and then also connecting to spirits if you're into that thing. The other thing is the reason I say a lot about getting rid of your shit is because the more down you are, you're able to connect to spirits that are down, all right? If somebody was depressed here, they don't go over to the other side and say, oh, I'm so happy, happy, happy. They can stay depressed over there, and they can bring your, like sometimes I feel like I'll have, like if I do a reading and maybe somebody committed suicide or something, that negativity will attach to me. Not in a bad way, it will just like attach until I recognize it, and then I need to say, okay, you're not welcome here, you need to leave, okay? So the more that you are high vibration, and that's why I created my page, is that we need to raise high vibrations so that people will start to connect to the spirits in light and love. And I always say when I talk to my spirit guides, I ask that my spirit guides in light and love, the ones that are here to protect me, to love me, to serve me, can you please help me get rid of the pain that I feel due to this situation? Can you please help me release the emotions or the attachment that I have to this person? So right before bed I do that, so that in my dreams that maybe they can come to me and heal me while I'm sleeping, okay? So try that to get rid of your stuff. The more high vibrational you are, those lower vibrational spirits cannot get to you, cannot attach to you or anything like that. And guys, I'm not scared of any of it because I keep my vibrations high. And I also have the intention that no lower vibration spirits can touch me, okay? So I want you to be very careful and protect yourself. So I want you to set that intention if you are going to try to connect to spirits. Only connect to spirits in light and love, and raise your vibration so high that the lower vibrational spirits cannot touch you, okay? And if you have any issues, please, please, please contact me. But I want you to put a bubble of protection around you. I want you to do that anyway, because even just going out and about, if you don't realize it and maybe you're empathic, these can attach to you automatically and you start to feel down. You have to be aware of what's yours and what's theirs. All right. So all of a sudden, if you're having a great day and you're going around and you're just in a good mood, and then all of a sudden, like a flip of a switch, you're down and depressed and you're thinking negative thoughts and stuff, that might not be you. Yes, I do sage, Lee. Yes, this is my saging. I'm actually going to sage because I want to blow the intentions to you guys before we do this. I have my sage right here. So I do sage. I sage, and make sure when you sage, you get under your armpits, and make sure you get under your feet, okay? Because that is where negative spirits can lie. Yes, I've learned the bubble is so important as an empath out in public. Yes, because you need to close your chakras and you need to protect yourself. When we have ourselves open, with our chakras open, we're walking like this. And if somebody else is walking like that, you bump right into them, and now all of a sudden their energy is in your aura, and now you can then take that, and you don't want that. So if you can close yourself up like this, okay, put that bubble of protection around you, you can then keep to yourself and let everybody else's energy. And if you feel like you have anybody else's energy, it doesn't have to be spirits, it could be somebody else living on this earth. You say, this energy is not welcome, I need you to leave. And this is just what you say, it's not welcome here. You sage yourself and get rid of the negativity. All right. So sometimes I'm like, you know, I came back from a weekend and I was just very negative, and I'm like, I have no idea why I feel this way. I'm just really in a bad mood. And I saged. And after I saged, I felt a lot better because I did not welcome that energy anymore. And obviously it wasn't my energy, it was somebody else's that I took with me. Okay? Great tip on saging under armpits and feet. I've never heard that before. Oh yeah, because that's where they lurk. So definitely do that. Amanda, yeah, if you're empathic, work on the bubble of protection, sage yourself, okay? All right, so did I miss any questions? Yes, I saged. Okay, good. All right. Just gonna take a sip of water, guys. All right, so we're gonna do Reiki. So go ahead and get comfortable. I'm gonna bring you into a little meditation before we do this. Smoky quartz, yeah. I sage my children after school, and my son says intentions to his rocks and crystals. Oh, Constance, I love that. Let me tell you a story. I sage my daughter. I sage her like this, and the smoke is like coming off of it. Not fire, just smoke. She starts crying her eyes out, and I'm like, no, I need to sage you. I need to sage you. Get rid of the negativity. You're so negative. Negativity. And she was crying her eyes out. And then afterwards, like 3 seconds after, like maybe a minute afterwards, she was like all light and love again. And I was like, see, this is why we sage. So now she lets me sage her on purpose, and she doesn't give me trouble. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sage, and I'm going to blow this to the camera so that with the intention, because guys, all of this is really about intention. If you think about the energies and like how I explain this, if we are all just energies and we're just in different dimensions, right? And I know it sounds crazy. It took me a while to get here, guys. But like, you know, if we're all in different dimensions, then the intention is really what happens. So I'm blowing this sage for the intention of protecting all of you that are watching this video now and in the future, okay? So, and hopefully I don't burn or set off fire alarms, because this is a little bit more than I usually burn. Keep burning my tapestry here. Okay. So then I've already saged myself, so I'll just do it a little bit again here. Okay, but I've saged myself, I saged my cards, I saged my pendulum, I saged my, actually I'll do that while you guys are on the phone. So I'm just going to do this around the phone. So I'm sending the sage to all of you with protection of any spirits or angels, all in light and love, that are here. No one else is wanted or accepted here, okay? All right. And then actually, while you're here, I'm going to go ahead and sage my crystals that I use for our the Reiki, okay? I'm changing the music up today because I want this to be a little bit more fun than a little bit more healing. I want, you know, to really I want you guys to realize that this can be fun. Healing can be fun because, to be honest with you, you're learning more and more about yourself, and it's really interesting and it's really exciting. So I've changed the music just a little bit more pizzazz, I guess you would say. But here, so I sage all my crystals. All right. Just gonna close that. All right, so find a comfortable spot. Yeah, I'm already getting that some of you really need to focus your brain because I'm getting, like, I feel like my mind is going woo-hoo like this. So, yeah. All right, so let me focus. So we're going to focus on, let me see if I can show you. Oh, you smell it? Oh, that's so awesome. Good. That's so awesome. Let me see what I can show you. Okay, so I lit the crown chakra candle, okay? Which they have this as purple, but usually the crown chakra is kind of like, I imagine it as white. And then you have the brow, which is the third eye, which is usually like the indigo purple. So we have our candles going. So we're going to focus on the crown and the third eye chakra, which is the crown. The third eye is right here between your brows, and the crown is about a couple of, I don't know, like a couple of inches, I think, off of your head, all right? So it's not actually in your head, it's above your head, and that's what really connects us to the divine source. So we're going to try to, with my intention here today, we're going to expand the crown, and we're going to open up our third eye so that we can, really my intention is for enlightenment and awakening to really change the perception of how you see things, what you've dealt with in the past, how you see things now, and how you see all of the spirituality stuff, okay? I'm also going to try to calm your brain for some of you, all right? So I'm going to really focus on the crown. Yeah, so I'm going to move these over here. I'll touch upon them, but we're really going to focus on the crown and the third eye chakra. All right, so is there any questions before we start? Get my music ready. See if this thing's on.
Powering on. Battery is full. Paired. Ready to pair.
Let's see. Hopefully this just works. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to go through just a little guided meditation. I know I said those don't really work, but I think this will kind of work for you. All right, so if there's no questions, go ahead and lay back and close your eyes. And I'm actually going to do this with you. There's actually one song that I like to do this to, so I'm going to play that song. Okay, so we're going to go through the chakras, okay, as lotus flowers, and we're going to open up our chakras so that we open up ourselves to connect to the divine source, all right? So we're going to start with the root chakra. So I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out. And I want you to picture a red lotus flower spinning around in a circle, opening up its flowers, spinning, 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 beautiful red lotus flower, spinning, 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 opening up its petals. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Next, I want you to picture an orange lotus flower. Spinning, spinning, spinning. As it spins, it opens up its beautiful orange petals. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. Next, I want you to picture beautiful yellow lotus flower Spinning around and around, slowly, slowly, spinning around and around. And as it spins, it's opening up its beautiful, beautiful yellow, shiny, yellow lotus flowers, petals, spinning round and round and round. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. Next, I want you to picture a green lotus flower spinning around and round and round. And as it spins, it opens up its petals. Beautiful, beautiful green petals, opening wide, wide, wide. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Next, I want you to picture a beautiful, beautiful blue lotus flower spinning round and round, and as it spins, it opens up its beautiful blue petals. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Next, I want you to picture a light purple and white. This is how I picture light purple. It's like an amethyst. Spinning round and round, lotus flower, white purple. Spinning round and round, and as it spins, it opens up its petals. Beautiful, beautiful lotus flowers, spinning round and round and round. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Next, I want you to picture a white, beautiful, beautiful, shining bright white lotus flower. And as it spins round and round and round, the beautiful petals open up wider and wider and wider. Now from this lotus flower, this beautiful bright white lotus flower, I want you to imagine the white light inside this lotus flower shining bright, higher and higher and higher, pushing it high, 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 taking that white light and spreading it out, 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 as wide and as high as it can go. I want you to imagine this light high and wide right above you. High, 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 white, bright, shining light. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in and let it out. I'm going to start working on your third eye and your crown chakra. Whatever thoughts come in, let them come in, let them go out. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take another deep breath in. And let it out. Start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Keep your thoughts positive. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Whew. Okay, how was that for everybody? The first feeling that I got was like, there's a ton of people here, on the left side and on the right side, so I can't even identify them. They're just standing all together, one, you know, a family, not even a family, like it's all of yours, like, so it's like 30 to 40 people just standing there on the left side and standing there on the right side and just being with us today through all of this, because they want to connect. They want you to know that they're there. They are watching over you, and if you ever doubt it, just know that they are all there. You know, you just have to kind of open your eyes in order to see their messages that they're sending, and trust that they're there. Okay, so that was the first thing that I got. Like, I couldn't even identify one or the other because there was just like 40 of them on both sides, which to me was just a beautiful, beautiful energy for this session, because obviously they're here because you're here, because you want to connect, and you want to be able to trust in your intuition. And so I got that. I first went through your crown chakra, calming your thoughts in your head, and then expanding it all. You felt it in your heart space. Good. So many gentle sensations. Good. Good, 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 good. So I worked on your crown chakra first, and then when I got to the third eye chakra, I don't know, this might resonate with maybe one or two of you. When I got to the third eye chakra, I saw the devil card from tarot, and you know, basic and toxic thoughts. Like, that's what I felt when I was focusing on the third eye chakra. And what I did was with the intention of shifting those to a white light, shifting it to a white light. So did anybody feel like their negative thoughts go positive during the session? Because I feel as though you could have been seeing things that were either scary or affected you emotionally. And throughout this, I tried to switch those feelings to a white light. So tell me if that resonates with any of you. Like an endorphin release. You felt a lot of, yeah. I moved the energy from the crown chakra and the third eye chakra into all the chakras. So if you did feel stuff through your chakras, that was probably moving the, like the divine source energy through all your chakras. Linda, you saw the white light. Okay, good. Were you thinking negative at all during the session? I'll tell you, I'm wiped out. So I felt that was really good. I feel as though you might not feel the effects right away, but after tonight and a round of sleeping, that's what they're kind of trying to indicate, is that tomorrow's going to be a better day. All right? So no, you weren't thinking any negative thoughts. No negativity. Good. Well, I'm glad there's no negative. So maybe it's just thoughts from before that I see. Your hand was hot. Did anybody else feel hot? Because I have a headache too, Constance. It was just a lot of energy going through us. So what I'd like to do is maybe focus on some breathing, and letting the thoughts and go. Okay. Yes, I felt relief and I almost fell asleep. Good, Lane. I'm so happy. I've been thinking about you a lot. So all right. So do me a favor, guys. Yes, hands are hot. Who else said they were hot? Your hands were hot. It's so funny because what I did was I took your third eye chakra, the stone here, and I put it over the fire. So that's why you were feeling hot. Yes, you can re-listen to this. It's funny because I actually watch my videos and do Reiki, like lay down on the couch and listen to my Reiki as well. So see if it affects me or not. So yes, re-listen. I do all the Reiki with the intention of whoever the replay is going to be just as effective. Okay, so for whoever's watching it now and who will ever watch it later, the intention is there. And like I said, it's all about the intentions. So anyway, so I burned your third eye chakra about the past. I burned all the past thoughts that are blocking your third eye chakra from opening up. And I rose it to, the white light. So if you felt that, that's probably why. My arms are very hot, tingly. They usually are. Intense head pressure, especially around third eye. Well, that makes sense because we are doing the third eye. I'm hoping it doesn't last, though. Me too. Love re-listening to all videos. So healing. Oh, Constance. Thank you. All right, so I'm a little wiped out. Anything else that I had to tell? So hopefully this helped you. Hopefully listen to the messages that were in the beginning. Protection, protection, protection. Saying protection, but there's really no reason to be scared if you keep your thoughts positive. Get out of your head, guys. Like, that's what I feel like. This draining energy is probably taking a little bit from you guys, and that's fine. Like, I will love to take your negative energy and give you white light instead, because I will heal this and move on from it. So, you know, I'm grateful that I can take some of it from some of you, and you can now move on in a higher vibration, okay? So I'm going to meditate and lose this. But, yeah, so thank you for joining me. And I have the What Lessons Are You Missing for the Zodiac Signs coming out. Some of them are posted on YouTube right now. I think I have about 4 left to do. So they will be coming out shortly, probably today. Oh my God, it's 11:11. Like, seriously, this is what I'm talking about. Like, once you're in sync, you're in sync. Wasn't looking for it. I just looked at the time. And yeah, it's 11:11, guys. So seriously, we had 10:10, 11:11. Like, you're in the right spot at the right time. You're meant for all of this. You're meant for good. And again, the 11:11, I was just thinking negative, draining, and 11:11 shows up. And that tells me, switch it, flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it. Okay, so I'm going to start being positive. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, so just thank you. That's all I feel. Mwah. Love you guys. I hope this was great. You know, we have this group, so keep posting. I love to hear from you guys afterwards, how you're feeling, how it's affecting you, and love and light, okay? And I'll talk to you guys soon, all right? Take care.